One organization is taking a look at the rising and alarming trends of dementia cases in African Americans. Plus, tomorrow is looking to be a day to sit by the fireplace. David Stoltz will tell you more about the extreme cold warnings. But first, homeless shelters in central Nebraska are making sure those without a roof over their head are safe from the colder elements. That's our top story tonight. Thank you for joining us for Local 4 News at 10. I'm Brandon Muting. This week has been quite cold, but the temperatures tomorrow are going to be setting records. As we continue to make sure our homes, children, and pets are safe, one organization is making sure those without a place to go aren't stuck in the elements. Local 4's Leroy Triggs has more behind the help Crossroads Mission Avenue is doing.
Crossroads Mission Avenue has a homeless shelter in Grand Island, Hastings, and Kearney. Their Grand Island and Kearney location is at full capacity. Factoring their Hastings location, they're at 86% capacity.
If there wasn't a place like Crossroads for you to go to, like you say, your van, like when start, I guess where would you be if you didn't have Crossroads?
Freezing, probably, yeah.
Those living at Crossroads are encouraged to help out.
Part of our daily structure is to get involved at Crossroads, keep your hands busy. You know, it might be helping to clean up around the place or cook food or help in one of the thrift stores. But we definitely try to have a day program for those who are residing at Crossroads.
If there was no Crossroads,
I don't know. I have no idea. You know, I would have had to try to get support to get housing or something like that, and I don't know if I would have gotten that. And so, you know, I might have just been, you know, going back to that situation would not have been good, one, and two, I guess I would have been, you know, on the streets.
Executive Director Daniel Buller says even though they are at full capacity in Grand Island and Kearney, they will overfill if needed. Reporting from Kearney, Leroy Triggs, Local 4 News.
Over to the skies now, David Stoltz joins us. And David, on my way back to the station, I actually saw frost smoke from a small body of water kind of near Libbs Park in Hastings. I thought it was kind of cool, but also shows it's just too cold.
That's right, Brandon. It shows you how cold it is out there with the steam coming off of the ice out there. And some of the coldest temperatures we've probably seen since 2021, as before I moved to Nebraska, and possibly some of the coolest temperatures I've seen ever in my lifetime, as we're looking at extreme cold warnings from now until noontime for much of the area. We could see those wind chills, also known as feel-like temperatures, as low as, yes, 35 below zero. Current air temperatures across the area right now, looking at -12 here in Hastings, -21 in Orden, even colder in Broken Bow at 23 below zero. And those winds out of the north anywhere from 5 to around 10 miles per hour, making it feel more like 30 below zero here in the Hastings area, 31 below out in Lexington, and 35 degrees. That feel like temperature, 35 below zero, that feel like temperature in York at the moment. As we look at future temperatures overnight tonight, they'll be falling to the, yes, anywhere from -8 out in Imperial to -21 in Kearney by 7 a.m. There is some good news, though. After tonight, a little bit of a warm-up as we head into the weekend. I'll have more on that coming up shortly. Brandon.
Thank you, David. Well, winter weather can be tough on many things, and with the colder temperatures, it also means your body will be working harder. The American Heart Association says that in these conditions, it takes more energy to warm that cold air in your lungs, which in turn uses more blood. Mixing that with hard work, and doctors say it could be a recipe for disaster. And doctors say it's important to listen to your body.
Beware of the warning signs. When you're outside scooping snow, just walking through heavy snow, or with the wind when it's extreme cold like this outdoors, just need to be aware of those symptoms that would be unusual.
Other signs include trouble breathing, cold sweats, and shooting pains around the body. Doctors at Mary Lanning Healthcare are saying that it doesn't take too long for frostbite to kick in with the current temperatures. Mary Lanning says it can take as little as 5 minutes. Frostbite happens when you get so cold that your skin doesn't get enough blood supply. And the first sign of frostbite is frost nip, and that can set in when your skin is exposed to cold air. Dr. Zach Fry says there are simple ways you can treat frost nip if you think you might have it.
The best thing to do is immediately get inside somewhere warm, and you want to rewarm, but not rewarm too fast. So you don't want to stick your hands in a hot water, but you do want to use warm water. That's going to be the fastest way to rewarm an area is warm water.
Dr. Fry also says if your fingers, toes, or your skin looks white or ashy in color, then you may have frostbite and will have to seek medical help immediately. When the extreme cold hits, bus services like Crane Transit still have to operate and get people where they need to go. Charlie Fallman is the city's transit program manager, and she says one challenge they have to deal with is when residential streets aren't plowed. But she says they expect that and work around it. Fallman notes that sometimes they have to work through some equipment malfunctions when the temps are this cold.
There are just some mechanical issues that we encounter with so much cold. Obviously, all of our ADA lifts use hydraulic fluid, which doesn't operate very well in extremely cold temperatures. So we do see more minor system failures.
She also says a good rule of thumb to know if Crane will cancel service is if Grand Island Public Schools close for the day. Moving to an update regarding the murder case out of Seward, a judge has ordered that 54-year-old Casey Kent, who's accused of killing his ex-fiancée, would be held without bond. Prosecutors have charged him with first-degree murder, burglary, child abuse, and 2 firearm violations for killing 36-year-old Jamie Hagan on February 8th, just a day after he bonded out of jail. Kent's current condition is still unknown after he survived an apparent suicide attempt following the murder, but the judge has set his next court date on March 5th. The Nebraska Department of Transportation Highway Safety Office is hosting a 2-day statewide safety conference. Law enforcement and safety advocates from across the state are in Kearney for the event. There are several sessions each day ranging in topics from impaired drivers to child seat safety. But the main thing NDOT wants to accomplish is to reduce traffic fatalities.